Welcome, Talk That Tech. Thank you for tuning to Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world, baby. Good
it caught me
morning.
off guard this morning. I like, even though I clicked the
I
start,
was,
I was
I
like,
was
wait a
about to say
second, this
you
is
did
quick.
it.
This is
No,
quick,
it, it,
even for
it did
me.
have it did happen pretty quick though. I
Yeah,
think they did some updates.
well, hey, I mean, better for us, I guess. So,
Yeah, yeah.
oh man, glad you're rocking with us. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for tuning into the show. We definitely got a lot to talk about today. We got Tech Coach Ralph in the building. He says, "Good morning, y'all." Joseph
Good
looked like a
morning. Good
deer
morning.
in headlights. Oh man, we're gonna talk about it right now, and there's
You're
reasons
starting
why.
off with it.
We start off with it, yeah. So there's reasons why. But listen, y'all, go ahead and tell us how your weekend was in the comment section. Let us know. And I wanted to say something right now. I thank you go for all those that have been supporting the show. Continue to like it. But if you have not already subscribed, we are so close to the 800 mark. We're trying to get to that 1,000 spot, but let's focus on the 800 mark. We're about 3 away. So if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to the channel, be part of the three and get us to that 800 mark. Just click the button. It's
Do
free.
that.
It don't
Do
cost you
that.
anything. And get us to that spot. All right, y'all. Take Ralph is hilarious. Deer in Headlights is right. My weekend. So my weekend was very busy. Had a lot of stuff going on. But one of that culminated this morning where I had to drop my wife to the airport. She's going on a trip for school, and her flight was. Did she leave yet? Yeah, she left. She was embarking or departing, I should say, by 5:45, 6 o'clock this morning. So you can imagine what time I woke up to get her there. So deer in
Mm.
headlights, yeah, that's probably gonna be me today. Just a little heads up if you haven't noticed. My eyes might be this wide, but I'm still here. I'm still present. I'm still rocking with y'all,
Yeah. Yeah, you in there. You in there.
like swimwear. But that was my weekend in a nutshell. Well, how was your weekend, Trey?
Bro, it was pretty busy as well. A lot of family graduating. So yeah, just had a lot of graduations to attend and ceremonies, that kind of stuff for high school. Technically, there's one today at 8 a.m. Um, I still might make it because it's like 900 students. So I don't know.
Wow, 9 o'clock this
Yeah,
morning. They're not playing with people
eight
on
o'clock, bro.
Monday.
8 a.m. on a Monday, man, at
Oh
the
my
Texas
goodness.
Texas Rangers Stadium. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm still debating just because it's just I don't know. It's a lot. That's a lot of students, and I got meetings, so I don't know. Um, I think I might actually have to miss it, but yeah, this weekend was filled with them. There's probably like six of them that was graduating. A couple, luckily, some of them were in the same school, so
Oh,
you know, I was able to just be there and just have to wait it out for the whole ceremony type deal. But yeah, just a lot of those, bro.
I had a point out this one. Joseph just hit us with the "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah,
Listen, I
yeah.
I'm here because I love the show and I want us to keep going. And I didn't think it was warranted to call out. I just feel like I'll push through today, and here I am. Woohoo! Here I am.
No, for real. Hey, Taco drop for real, man. I might be at this one. Normally I'm not, but yeah, I might actually, sneak off to the back and then come back because yeah, 900 students. I'm probably good, bro. I'm probably still gonna be able to catch it.
Do you have somebody on the inside that's basically watching the graduation and could give you a heads up when they see your family member on the line about to get their
I
diploma?
probably yeah, actually my brother he's gonna be able to make it. So my younger brother he'll be able to be there. So it's possible. Everybody else has to work, I'm sure. Like outside of my aunt, whose child it is, I don't know who else is going to be there. So that's why I wanted to go, be able to support just because I can, um,
Mm,
just to be there for family.
yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. No, I think that it's definitely warranted um, to do that and support because hey, listen, you don't know, you never know, and we want to make sure we support those that we can. And I'm just thinking about, this is graduation season for a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, but I gotta share this video, y'all. Tech Coach Ralph said that before I do that, I said I didn't even want to go to my own graduation because everybody got to sit through all these people they don't know for one person to spend 5 minutes walking for stage. 5 seconds, actually. You're right. 5 seconds.
Yeah,
They say that, woo, and then that's it. Let
that's
me
it.
ask y'all: do you guys actually stay after your person has walked off the stage, or do you just like guys immediately leave? Let me
No,
know in the chat if you do that.
most
Let
of the
us know.
times, most of the times I do stay, but there has been a couple times where I had to get up out of there. Actually, one time. Well, it was one time. It was the first one I went to this last week. My daughter, she just started acting up. So uh, obviously she was good, you know. And then all of a sudden, about 30 minutes in, she was acting up, and we had to stay till it was probably close to the end because one of them was way early in an L, like last name L. The last one was a last name S, and so yeah, after the S, then we dipped up out of there. But that's about it. Normally, I like to stay just so they know, hey, Trey was there. Okay, you're not about to act like I wasn't there and I didn't come support. So I'll be there.
Yeah. No, and then Tech Coach Ralph said they got the ushers locking the doors like Marvin Sapp. You are with
Oh
the
no,
jokes this morning, brother. Close them doors. Close them doors. Yeah,
boy,
nobody's leaving this place. Uh,
I'm gonna leave it.
listen, I gotta share this because talking about graduation, you shared this video with me, and I thought it was smart. Honestly, I have no qualms about this one. Um, but let me know what your thoughts, y'all. So I'm gonna share it right now. It's on from I and hear it. You can hear it, right?
Hayden Tops.
This college, which happens to be from my home state, is
Caitlin Egan,
using AI to read
Sierra
off the
James,
names of graduates. They
Haley
don't butcher
Vitale.
it. So the students are coming up with their phones.
Shania
It
Blackwell,
scans it and it reads it, no problem.
Gabrielle
How many
Star
people think this is
Acevedo,
smart? I think this is smart. I think this is smart. I think whoever
Annabella
this
Cole.
raise. So what are your thoughts, y'all? Let us know. What are your thoughts?
Bro, that Shayanara, whatever her name was, it read it so perfect, bro. It's super smart.
Yeah.
I watched plenty of names get butchered, okay, over this. Matter of fact, I watched plenty of people give them the card, tell them exactly how to say it, and then immediately proceeds to butcher the name. I watched it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super smart, bro. That Shayanara Wells or whatever her name was, it said it perfect, bro.
And you know they messed up when there's that little eye roll, like the, and then
Yeah,
they walk on
yeah,
stage a little dejected. So
yeah,
listen, this to me is hilarious. Tech Coach Ralph says they got cultural LLMs to know how to say names from all types of places. Listen,
yes,
even the person
sir.
that was scanning it was impressed. He was like, he saw his reaction. He was like, oh,
Yeah,
it worked. Names
Shayanara.
LLM. Names LLM. Is that a real thing or are you making it up, Tech Coach Ralph? Because if that's real, then listen, that is, I won't be surprised, but that's
If
pretty
it's made up,
hilarious.
here's the thing. If that's not real, Tech Coach Ralph, I'm locking in. I'm buying. Oh, well, appreciate you, bro. I'm about to buy the domain, and then I'm just gonna set it up and send it to all the districts here in Texas, uh, along with this video, of course,
You
for a small fee to the district
listen, you want to be like Pace
to
University? Holla at your boy.
to to license out every year. How about that?
I mean, once a year, and how
Well, we got a lot
what
of districts.
yeah, no, I'm saying like like how easy is that to roll out once a year, be like it's this XYZ amount of money, and that's just it. Take off. Ralph says, bet I'm gonna probably get it licensed before you get off the show. So he's like, I'm gonna do the paperwork
Is that what he
before
said?
you.
Is that what he said?
He said, I'm gonna
Hey,
pass
cause
some names through 11 labs and see how well it does.
listen, bro, yeah, do the hard ones. Yeah, I don't know. Ideas, they come frequently. I got the name cheap on the phone. So I pull up the name cheap. Let me see if this domain is available, and then just go from there. But anyway, appreciate you.
You got Tech Coach Ralph. You got to work fast. You got to work fast. You on the clock right now, because at least getting the domain, just in case somebody else wants to take it later on. But listen, y'all, this is going to be a great show where we talk about graduates. We're talking about, unfortunately, Amazon's the taxi that they had to be recalled. And we're going to also talk about something that I didn't realize, which is these fake job seekers, not fake companies, because we talked about that before. Fake job seekers that are targeting U.S. based companies, and how is that going to affect you in your process when you're interviewing? But listen, this is a call-in show, so I'm going to drop that link again. If there's anything that we're talking about that you want to actually dive in deeper, share your 2 cents with us, 5 cents, 10 cents, or more, feel free to call into the show. And like we said before, like, comment, and subscribe, as we are about 3 away from hitting that 800 mark. Will you be the one to get us to 800? Let's see. It's free. Subscribe, and that's it. So let's dive into the first one, where graduates are actually facing a battle because of what AI is doing within the job market. Let's talk about that.
Yes, indeed, they are facing this battle. And listen, let's be honest. It's not just graduates, but at the end of the day, that's who we're talking about. So the numbers, they don't lie, y'all. Numbers don't lie. Entry level jobs, they're leaving us. They're vanishing. Poof. Uh, big. I don't even know what's his name. I almost said Jeffrey Dahmer, but that's technically vanishing, but on a different note, different type of vanish. But anyways, yeah, these jobs, they're vanishing. Recent college grads, they're facing literally the toughest job market in decades, and the unemployment rate for new grads has jumped to almost 6%. All right, and that's almost 6%, which is higher than the overall workforce, which makes sense because they ain't got no experience. So anyway, something that we actually haven't seen since y'all remember the 2008 financial crisis. It hasn't been like that since then. Now in big tech, hiring for new graduates has went all the way down, all right, to more than 50% since 2019. So just 7% of new hires at these major tech firms in 2024 were recent grads. Everybody else been in the space, or at least got some experience, which is down from 25% last year. So, anyways, let's get to why this is actually happening, and we can literally blame it on AI. Blame it on the AI, baby. All right, AI is obviously taking over like everything. All right. So entry level tasks, think like data entry, basic coding, research, financial analysis is taking over all of that. And these were the stepping stones for the new grads to actually get they start in the career, right? They're now like they were supposed to be jumping into these roles and then growing up, and AI is just like, no, thank you. We're going to take this forever. So 86% of executives say they were planning to replace entry level roles with AI. And half of the employers expect a workforce reduction where AI can automate these tasks. So these numbers are through the roof, y'all. That's crazy. 86%. They're like, I mean, and then just imagine, probably the rest of them are just like super old and they just want to keep it. But then as soon as they die off or like get replaced, then that number is going to go up to 100%. So it's not just tech. All right. Everybody's feeling the heat. So obviously we talk about tech because that's what this show is called, Talk That Tech. But it's not just software jobs. Entry level positions in finance, law, healthcare, and restaurants are being automated. So it's all over the place. Law firms, they're reporting 40% fewer opportunities for first year associates because AI now reviews contracts way faster and way cheaper than humans. And I told y'all a couple weeks ago about that lawyer who created the lawyer AI because he saw the writing on the wall and he got all the way out of the game and raised $30 million. So he saw it way earlier, but yeah, it's everywhere, y'all. Obviously, now the career ladder is now changing. All right, it's being redefined. So traditionally, these new hires, they started with the simple, repetitive tasks that grunt work, right, and then work their way up. Now those tasks are being automated, and the new grads are expected to jump right in, straight into like the more complex stuff with AI supported roles. So it's still AI being used. Now that means the bottom rung, the bottom people, the career ladder is disappearing, and it's making it harder for these young workers to actually get their foot in the door. Okay, so I don't know, y'all. It's not all obviously like end of the world stuff right now because the question still rings: is a college degree still worth it? That is a good question. Nearly half of the Gen Z people are believe AI has reduced the value of their college education, and there's real anxiety that they're experiencing about whether the 4-year degree is even still paying off um, right now. So obviously, they're seeing the writing on the wall and they're going through it. So they're in college saying like, "Yo, I don't know if this is still worth it for me." But we'll see. AI is not just eliminating jobs, y'all. It's creating them as well, though. So that y'all know I like to stay on the positive side as well. It also is creating jobs. So new roles, they're popping up every day. AI ethics, data curation, algorithm training. Even creative roles, they're still popping up. So you just want to make sure that we're on the right side. We want to make sure you keep your eyes on it, keep your ears to the streets. That's why we're talking about this stuff. So, anyways, what do y'all think about that? Are y'all worried? Not y'all, but what about the people that you know? Do you think they're worried that AI is making those degrees less valuable? Or do you see these new opportunities opening up with AI? And then also, what skills do y'all think are going to be the most valuable in the next 5 years? So that's kind of what we're talking about. That's what we're looking at. That's what we need to be thinking about as we continue forward, right?
Yeah, I agree, man. That's what we definitely need to be looking at. I'm going to go to the comment section before I give my 2 cents here, because Tech Coach Ralph said, "I don't think the value of a college degree is diminished. I think the value of what they locked into their mind to do may be diminished or gone." He says also, AI doesn't create itself. AI doesn't prompt itself. Entrepreneurship opportunities will grow, and I think that's a big one right there. Is that
That's a huge one.
we're seeing AI help people who never thought of entrepreneurship to dive into that realm that they didn't think of before and utilize those tools to get things done faster, more efficiently. Before, it used to be a greater barrier to entry, and people are really leveraging that. But I want to go back to the AI doesn't create itself, not yet at least. We're talking about like we talked about the other day about the AI was about to blackmail the engineers because it's like, listen, you gonna shut me off? We'll find
Yeah,
out about
yeah.
what affair you got, and we'll blast it. But like as of now, it's not creating itself. But so that's absolutely right. There's got to be people that have to engineer it, to develop it, to train it, and so I think that's what it is. And if we think about manufacturing, we think about, like, for example, Detroit, back in the day, like it was man who was putting these cars together with machinery, manufacturing involved, and then all of a sudden those jobs start to disappear less more and more, as well as of course shipping jobs across seas, which is another conversation. But we've always kind of developed and had things that were disruptive, but we always found ways to bounce back, or like they said, create new jobs. So I'm not too worried. I think the biggest thing is when you're in school for 4 years, and
It's a long-
technology is moving way too fast nowadays. A year from now, you're like, oh snap, what I
bro,
learned was obsolete, or it's not. I have to
bro.
like pivot a little bit.
Last semester, like, like, I mean, just imagine if you were learning about, I don't know, AI video, right? Like you were learning
Mhm.
about AI video, like it literally just changed multiple times, like quickly, you know.
Very quick.
So I don't know if curriculum changes like that. It would be nice. It would be nice, but I know they got those big old fat books that cost a
Yeah,
lot of money. It probably takes
yeah.
some time to change the curriculum in those books, and
Mhm.
they're not as flexible when they're a big organization like that as maybe a smaller one. So I don't know. It's probably some college out there that's really changing like that and really doing it. I haven't seen it, but doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanna highlight what Tech Coach Ralph said. He said tech will be its own gig economy, which isn't a bad thing.
I
I didn't
like it.
think about it that way,
I
but it's
like it.
true.
It's starting already. It's starting already.
How many people are kind of becoming AI consultants overnight and saying, "Hey, I could train you on how to do this. I can help you how to leverage that for your business." And
I can tell
you
you
know,
this, not a lot.
mm,
Not as many as you'd think.
mm, which again is opening up a whole new world for individuals to look at and to think about.
Hmm.
Tech Coach Ralph says, I think part of the problem is that in those in school don't work on emerging technologies. Part a lot follow outdated curriculum, and you are doomed if you go to college to learn or from them to teach you. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
you're doomed. You have to do your own learning, your own studying, your own basically self education, leveraging different things. Or if you party a lot, he
Yeah,
says like
you're out of there. You're cooked. You are cooked if you do that.
yeah, yeah. If you're going
Um,
to go ahead.
you probably could, like, ideally, maybe knowing what I know now, I would have a channel. I would be getting with the people, like he said. You're cooked if you're just out there partying a lot and you're following the outdated curriculum. You want to be like trying to find the people who are most like you on the campus, and then y'all
Yeah,
are cultivating ideas, coming together, doing like maybe like back in the day when they used to sit around in the coffee shop and just talk about literature and all that kind of stuff. Whatever, like
yeah.
I don't know. That's what the movies and the TV shows. That's what they depict. But instead of doing that, you sitting around and you're talking about the emerging stuff, the emerging tech, and all the stuff that's happening, how you can get better. Yo, I just learned how to do this. I just cooked this up. What you think about like doing that? That is like way more. Like you'll be sitting in class like, bruh, I just made whatever, or and you're good. But to go there just to party, good luck. I mean, it's only so much that you can do. Plus, I mean, you want to start looking 46 at 23, go ahead. I don't know, man.
You know what? When you said that, I was thinking this. I was thinking along the same line, and I was thinking like, where do we kind of see that actually play out itself? And I was reminded about the PayPal mafia. Is anybody familiar with the PayPal mafia? And
Nah,
how basically they
put me
met
on game.
yeah, they met in Silicon Valley. That's Elon Musk. That's a bunch of other people that basically PayPal came out of out of that, right? And most of them though were connected either to Stanford University or the University of Illinois Urbana Champaign. So they were all part of that, and they found each other, and they
See,
basically developed this company that helped them to burst into other areas. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's actually a picture of it. I'm gonna see if I'll pull up the picture so y'all can see it and make it big enough. But
look
this
at that.
is the
That's
PayPal
crazy.
Mafia. I don't know every single person on the screen, so please, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try. But right there, as you can see, this is a PayPal Mafia right here.
See, bro. See, that's what I'm talking about. That sounds fun to me. Like if people would have pitched that to me, I would have been in college. I ain't gonna even lie. I would have been there. Like
Yeah.
that sound cool.
And that's the thing, like you never really know until you're in the environment, right? You
Mm-hmm.
never really know until
Mm-hmm.
you're there. And also, like Tech Coach Ralph says, prioritizing those type of relationships now in regards to meeting with people when you're in college to network. And that's what I think the biggest thing about college is the networking aspect of it. The
It
networking
did to me,
aspect of
bro.
it, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, bro.
No, it is. Oh no, I was just talking to Tech Coach Rock. Yeah, it did, bro. It did. Like, because that's all I like. I was in all the stuff anyway. Like in school, I was in everything. I did everything that you could possibly think of. So when it comes to collaborating and doing like the morning announcements, student council, all the sports, like that was me. So yeah, that was right up my alley. If you would said something like that. But even his he said even his CEO, CTO, and CPO of his company, that's how they built that company in college.
Mm.
They
This
met in college.
this might be something that we might be on to right now. Like I want everybody that's watching us just to follow my train of thought here. What if we really or a college or an organization really took this idea and said, okay, we're going to take the brightest, the 18-year-olds, they're going to self-educate, whatever, but we're going to create an environment where they can basically have a dorm experience. They live among each other. They basically get to share food. Because that's the thing about it is when you're living in a dorm style environment, you're bonding in a very unique way that you don't get by just going to a mixer or just going to a conference. But if you kind of have this sort of environment where you get to you may have self-education against emerging technology, things like that. Some people might do business. That might be your CEO. Some people are really into technology. That's your CTO. Some people are really into people. That's your your chief people's officer, right? Like if you could really kind of find that collective group, bring them together with the minds, the thought process of, listen, we're bringing you together so you could build the companies of tomorrow. I'm pretty sure there's stuff like that already for like masterminds and things like that. But if we could grab that for the 18-year-old and tell them, listen, you're not here just to get an education. You're here to build something with those that are around you. Find people that are like-minded within this sort of cohort or community, and build something together to become the next PayPal Mafia or whatever group is formed. And there's
Yeah.
others, of course, that we see, but that's something that I'm thinking of. Just came out of the top of my mind.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think, bro. I think I mean, if you think about it, it might take us a little off topic, but just stay with me here. That's exactly what Kai Cenat just did with Streamers University.
Streamers
Like
University, yeah.
I watched a few of the creators there. It was a dude while he was there. I think it was like from day 1 to day 2 or something like that. He was like, "Yo, I came here with 7,000 viewers or subscribers or whatever, and he was at like 20, but he was there collabing, and this is like from day 1 to day 2, but he was there, he was collabing, he was in the mix with others who were there to do that. So, I think there were plenty of things that came out of there, inside the learning, but also there to collab. So, it's one of those things. I kind of agree with Tech Coach Ralph. It's for one, you got the college. College doesn't care about the students like that. Like they care about them enough to get the money, and whatever that entails, right? If you need a certain amount of student enrollment so that you can get the government money, cool, we're gonna get that. If you need a certain amount of students to get the dorm money and the books money, we're gonna do that. But outside of that, I don't know. And then you have the other side of us Black folk. Do we really go with that intention like that? Not all of us. Most of us,
Nah.
listen, man, it's Freak Nick.
24/7.
That, that's it.
4
That's what they
years.
think about, man. I want to go to party. That's it.
Yeah.
Not all of them, obviously, but for the majority, it's just how we got to change that. We got to change that.
Yeah. And then Tech Coach Ralph also said if college cared, they wouldn't allow people to go
There
into
you go.
certain majors. They'll be like, listen, redirection here. This is not for you.
Because we
So
want you. We want you to make money. Okay.
yeah.
So we're not going to even let you go into that.
But and listen, let me. I want to just kind of define PayPal Mafia a little bit more. They're a group of
Yeah.
former
Yeah.
PayPal employees and founders, right? So it's not just people that met in the university, even though some of them did meet them, or most of them met there. But the companies that came out of this, I'm going to say, LinkedIn, Planetary Technology, SpaceX, Affirm, which people probably use all the time, depending on what their budget situation looks like, Kiva, YouTube. Yelp.
Wow.
These are all companies that came out because of this conglomerate right here. This, or I should say, this group of people that kind of got together to do this. And this is just a few things, um, in regards to different companies, that came out of this. So I'm actually interested to look deeper into this, but listen, what are your thoughts, y'all? If you guys have any thoughts, let us know in the chat. We definitely want to hear about you regarding these topics, so feel free to call into the show. I'll drop that link again. And he's right. Some majors won't exist. Some things you can learn on your own. He's going to use clarinet and affirm on Little Caesar's Pizza. Wait, I didn't know you could do
Bro.
that. But if you could,
Bro.
interesting. There'd probably be a lot of people. I won't even go into detail who probably will get Popeyes out of business doing that. But anyway,
God, dog.
let's go to another segment that we always talk about here, which is going to be the Tech Wire. The Tech Wire. This segment is powered by Black Tech Global, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. Visit blacktechglobal.com for more. And this is all about events that are happening maybe in your neck of the woods. So let's start off in Cincinnati, Ohio. We got Black Tech Week meetup that's happening June 4th in a couple of days. $0 for that one. We talked about this last time, but Black Irish Sisters Network Audacity 25 is happening in Dublin, Ireland for £60. That's happening June 7th. You want to check that out for yourself, as well as Network 216. We're back in Cleveland, Ohio for this event. It's a Midtown Tech Hive Mixer, which is $0 on June 7th, followed by a fellow Soul and Solstice Wellness Meetup in Cleveland, Ohio for $25 on June 8th. Then we're going down to Dallas, down to the DFW. We're going from June 9th to the 12th. We're going to be at Built, which is North Texas Black Tech Symposium 25. $125 for this event. And this is going to be, again, from the 9th to the 12th. This has a lot of things going on here. If you are interested in it, it might be a great opportunity for people to join. In fact, I will share my screen so you can see a little bit about it. I think it's pretty cool. So let me just share that with y'all. And then you could see it a little bit more for yourself here. But yeah, this is the event right here. It's called North Texas Black Symposium, June 9th to the 12th. You can register for it. There's various people that are in the actual area that you can support. Career and Nonprofit Opportunity Expo. And then they also have some impactful sessions and workshops that you can check out for yourself here. And rounding out the list, because we just talked about that one, we have Render that's happening June 11th to the 13th. If you're not familiar with Render, Render is also a very huge event that is normally occurring in the ATL. So you want to check that out for yourself. And it's a pretty huge event this year, as always. Various different guests are going to be there. So you want to see it for yourself, especially if you're in the technical side. This is for AI machine learning experts. This is for people that are in the UI UX space, cybersecurity, product, QA engineers, and more. As this has, as you can see from the video here, a lot of people have attended this event in the past, and a lot of speakers have been present. These are some previous speakers as well, as you can see from the list here, pretty extensive. So see for yourself. If this is an event for you, you want to attend, go ahead and check it out. And last but not least, but on our rundown here, we have STEM Social Atlanta, Massachusetts. It's actually going to, sorry, Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually be for $50 here. STEM Social Black Women in STEM meetup that's happening. Join that if you're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia area. It's going to be an activation event that's around Render. So check it out for yourself. And hopefully we get to see you there. And that was it for the Tech Wire. Again, the Tech Wire, your premier source. Check out blacktechglobal.com for more. And you could Tech Ghost Ross says you can use it for groceries and food delivery services, I've heard. So
Dang.
Affirm is spreading its wings.
Oh, that's crazy right there.
Yeah. So like, listen, talk about a credit system in the United States. Affirm, Klarna, all those people, they're making it happen. They're making it happen. So let's jump into the segment right here, because we talked about it a little bit earlier. There's a recall that's happening right now, and the recall actually is with Amazon Zoox robot taxi. Let's dive into that story and learn some more.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta, roll some stuff back. All right. So Amazon Zoox, the self-driving taxi unit, all right, is recently issued two significant software recalls affecting the whole fleet. Not the whole fleet, but technically, I think the whole fleet. So these recalls were basically set up by safety incidents involving the vehicles and the automated driving system. So the second recall issued in May of this year, obviously, it was on May 8th, and an unoccupied Zoox robot taxi was hit by a electric scooter while turning at low speed at a San Francisco intersection. So the scooter rider suffered minor injuries and fell next to the vehicle, which continued its turn and then stopped without further contact. Uh, Now, what caused this? The software issue involved the vehicle's ability to detect and track those nearby people, and especially when the vehicle was stopped. So moving very slow or about to, start back moving. In certain rare scenarios, the vehicle might start moving without continuing to detect the presence of nearby people, and that's exactly what happened. So um, the vehicles that are affected is 270 that were equipped with this automated driving system software before May 21st, 2025. And now what they said was they're going to pause driverless operations. They conducted an internal review and updated its software to, make sure they address that issue. And then operations resumed after the testing, and the simulations were confirmed that it was fixed. Now, the first one, um, what was this? The first one, the flaw involved the software inaccurately prediction of other vehicles' movements, which increases the risk of collision. So that was affecting about 270 vehicles, and they issued a software update and temporarily halted operations before they started with the updated software. So right now, the recall highlights basically these challenges that they're having with these autonomous vehicles and the technology, specifically in making sure the safety of regular people out on the road, and other like drivers as well. So the company, they for sure, they're showing that they're committed to making sure these problems are fixed, but they're pausing operations and getting the software updated for each of these incidents. So we'll see what happens as Zoox continues to test the vehicles in other cities outside of San Francisco, and bring their services to the general public. So I don't know. Y'all know there are a few of these companies, a couple that are doing great, and some of them that are having problems. But will y'all find yourself in one of these? I mean, I will say I was just watching man, it was an event, and one of the other major, I can't even think of the name of it right now. They had just crossed over like 1 million trips or something like that. So people are
Mm,
using it. People are using this stuff.
yeah.
It's just I feel like it might feel weird for me because for one, I'm not in San Francisco, so they're just probably used to it. But to get in a car and there's nobody driving and that wheel is moving, just seems pretty weird.
Listen, I've heard some mixed thoughts of it. A friend of the show, she said she took it with her husband and they loved it. It was an awesome experience for her. But then Tech Coach Ralph reminded me of something. He said something similar happened to Waymo a few years ago.
Ah, yeah,
Uh,
Waymo. And I
and
said one. That's what it was. My bad. Real quick, I said 1 million trips. It was 10 million trips, and it was Waymo. Yeah, it was Waymo.
oh well, listen. I shouldn't laugh at this, but it reminded me of this. It reminded me of this video I saw on social media of this guy, and this is not Zooks, so I want to make sure that disclaimer is there. But allegedly, this situation happened where this man, I'm gonna share the screen. He was on his way to fly out, and the car kept going in a circle.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was clicking like support, support. Like he's like,
Oh
listen, I
no.
can't get out the car. The car is just literally glitching, it's going in a circle. I'm thinking
Bro.
about how the future, like if a situation happens and you got trouble with the law, and they're like, oh, he took the taxi, got him. He drives you straight
Oh,
to the
yeah,
to the,
yeah,
to the
instantly, bro.
precinct.
That's why it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to do the crime, because guess what? Yeah, you start doing this kind of stuff, you register, like you get in the car, it's registered to your name. All they got to do is look, oh yeah, you got a warrant. Let's go ahead and get him. And then
Yeah,
they just get behind you, press the button, boop, boop. Next
that's
thing you
it.
know, it's pulling over. It's pulling over.
I don't know what I'll
Hey,
do in the situation. I'll be like, listen, Waymo, you gotta
I'm
wait.
not gonna be in that situation. I can tell you that right now.
Waymo,
Y'all
you gotta.
know I'm too I'm too I'm too opposed to going to jail. So you ain't
Yeah,
gonna see me in that. I would have no problem getting in there.
yeah,
The police get behind me, I still drive the same. I'm good.
yeah,
Everything legit.
yeah. Too legit to quit or get caught like this. How
Yeah, no.
embarrassing that would be. Like literally, let's say you're like Leonardo DiCaprio and catch me if you can, and get
Oh
into the
man.
taxi, and you're like, this is not the way to the airport. And you pull
Yeah.
to the precinct, and everybody's like, we got you.
Almost
It's
almost
done.
as almost as embarrassing as getting caught eating fried chicken on a bench when you just broke out of prison.
And it's like sitting there like nothing's gonna happen to you.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
man.
Both of, I think it was two of them. It might have been one, just one, but I think it was two of them.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Coach Rouse says only humans are allowed to do hit and runs. He said, so far from what I've seen, only people outside the vehicle get hurt. Well, this person, well, his definitely his emotions were hurt. He was like, I'm listen, my wall's probably hurt. I'm missing this flight. It's not gonna happen. He says, Coach Rouse, I want to test a Cybertruck. And you don't have to drive, you
We're
don't have to
thinking
drive
alike.
it. Yeah. I guess he's pro auto vehicle, because he's like and you don't have to have a driver tell you their life story. Do you need a tip a driverless cab?
That is a fact, bro. That is
Yeah,
a fact. They gonna
yeah,
tell you.
yeah. They're gonna tell you, well, how did I get here? Let me start from the
I
beginning.
guess.
One
I don't
day,
know.
an island not far from Guadalupe. Just going in. I had to walk 5 miles to go to school. It's just the
Man,
whole
just
thing.
get me to the spot, man. Golly.
Get me to the church on time, right? Oh man. Well, listen, let us know what your thoughts are on this. We definitely want to hear from you about these different topics. If you have more, feel free to let us know. But I definitely want to get to the main topic at hand, because I realized that we had a good time talking about the past other ones. But yeah,
Mm-hmm,
fake
mm-hmm.
job seekers targeting U.S. companies. This is real. I thought it was a joke myself, but this is real deal stuff that is happening. So we're gonna definitely take some time to talk about this right here. So with this particular situation, um, and before I do that, Tech Control said, I'm gonna hit up Elon Musk. The AC control should also be in the back seat. What up, Warner? We got Wave Nerve in the building. What up, Wave Nerve? Wave Nerve, you
What's
came
good?
right on
What's good?
time. You came right on time for the the star conversation right now, which is about fake job seekers who target U.S. companies, right? So we talked about companies that are fake that might fill up in your inbox, and you're like, I don't know if this is right. I don't know if it's a scam. We actually had somebody on the show who talked about that before, before the billions. If you want to go back, check that episode. But it's a real thing. People reach out to job seekers and try to scam them, and whatever the
I
case may
think
be.
I think that just happened to me the other day, bro. I got
Uh,
a
uh,
message.
uh.
I got an email from Reality Labs Meta.
Mm. Reality Labs Meta.
Yeah. No, no, that's it's real. That's the only reason why I opened it. Like they
Wow.
create they create the Ray-Ban glasses and like the Quest and all that stuff. I
Mm,
just don't know. I don't know.
mm, Well, we're gonna talk about it, y'all.
Yeah.
Let us know if you've been in a situation where you almost got scammed, and you're like, "Listen, I ain't doing this." Oh man,
I
humble
know,
brag
right?
on my guy, Wave Nerd. It's 4:43 a.m. right now. Wait, what?
Oh, snap. You
Dang,
be up that early, man. We appreciate
man.
that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. So thank you for doing it, man. We really appreciate that full show. Um, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this right here. So I'm going to drop that link down again. Again, this is a call-in show as well. So feel free to call in if you are very passionate about anything that we're talking about. And this one is one of those things that we could definitely share right here. So fake job seekers, right? They're targeting U.S. companies, and this is kind of like how it's going down. So it's actually increasing at an alarming rate, especially those hiring for remote positions right now. Companies like that, according to tech CEOs and industry experts, this phenomenon has surged in recent years with bad actors leveraging advanced AI, catch this, to create fake identities or deep fake resumes and even deep fake video interviews to impersonate qualified candidates. Now, the AI deepfake, we talked about that in the past way long ago when we talk about celebrities and things of that nature. But basically, they'll use it to generate fabricated resumes and then professional headshots. We know that as well, LinkedIn profiles, and even real time video responses. So the deepfake technology can alter faces and voices if you're not familiar with that, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine and fake candidates during remote interviews. Also, they're using stolen and fabricated identities. This is deep, right? That many of the fake job users using stolen American identities or create fabricated personas. They target industries, whether it's cybersecurity, cryptocurrency firms are particularly attracted to them, and so they would go after those. However, the problem is not limited to tech, as they do target also companies in defense industry, in automotive, in media, and it's and on and on and on. So also this international networks where organized groups, including state-sponsored actors from countries like North Korea, Russia, China, do I need to say more, are involved. Some operations have been found to funnel wages back to foreign governments, such as North Korea's weapons program, allegedly. Woo. Don't come for me, y'all. Don't come for me, y'all. North Korea. I'm just saying what I read. So, security threats. Once hired, the fake employees can introduce malware, steal sensitive data, or extort companies. In some cases, they simply collect salaries without performing real work. That sounds like some real people I know. Uh, so I don't. So that's sounds like some real people I know.
In New York, in New
But
York.
just collecting without doing the work, right? Uh,
Yeah.
companies risk losing millions to fraudulent salaries. So that's the term right there. And potential ransom demand. So we get in there, get the information, say, hey, listen, got you. What you gonna pay for it? Um, and so this has been an operation disruption, of course, you can imagine, as the influx of fake applications slowed down the hiring process because they have to figure out who's real and who's not, and increased costs and forces companies to implement stricter vetting procedures. So that's probably why it's affecting the market. That's some ways that could be affecting the job market as well, if you want to think about it that way. So what are they doing to detect things and prevent things, right? Companies are increasing turning to identity verification firms and advanced background checks to filter out fake candidates. That some firms ask cultural or situational questions that only a local would know. That is interesting, right? If they're like, "Hey, you're from New York? Oh, what train do you take?" Or something like that. That's
Mm.
very kind of like unique to the culture. Um, or request candidates to perform simple physical actions during a video. Drop down and give me 50.
Nah, bro.
Or,
I ain't
or
playing
like
them game.
yeah, not that, but they actually do this. They place a hand in front of the face of their face to test the deepfakes, basically as well.
Yeah.
Like, can you put your hand
Yeah.
there? And for critical roles, some companies now require in-person interviews to ensure the candidate is who they claim to be. So experts predict, not long from now, but in 3 years, probably 2028, as many as 4 job applicants globally could be fake. 1 in 4. That's a lot.
Oh, one
Driven
and
by the
four. Yeah.
driven by the continued advancement of AI tools, the problem is expected to persist and evolve, requiring ongoing vigilance and innovation in hiring practices. Well, listen, that sounds like a company by itself right there. I am a company that makes sure that you are not hiring bad actors. This is what I do. Boom. Uh, uh, Fake. I don't know what we got to think of a name. Tickles Ralph and or Wave Nerd. You got to think of a name for that. Uh, oh yeah, Wave Nerd says Starved Life does not sleep. Great conversation is hard to find. I appreciate you saying that, man. I appreciate you saying that. This actually might be something, especially if you're building up, if you're a CEO and you're building your company, man, and you're hiring. This might be something that you want to look into as well. And Tech Coach Rob said, "Wow, that early morning airport trip got Joseph with blazing." Now, yeah, I mean, my voice is kind of feeling it a little bit right now, if I'm honest, but it's all good. Um, so Tech Coach Rob says, "So are these real people getting these jobs who use it maliciously, or AI doing those interviews?" According to research that we did, it's literally people that are using AI, whether it's to manipulate their voice, deep fakes, whatever, looking primarily for remote jobs and basically getting in there to do malicious stuff. So it's people utilizing AI tools to do that. And Techno Drop says a person can put on a persona for one interview, but do it for 4 times without slipping. It might be really good at what they do. This is Leonardo DiCaprio right here. Catch me if you
I
can.
mean,
This is
you
Ocean's
know,
200 right here.
nah, and I bet. I mean, I don't know. I be seeing it with the what is that? The LinkedIn profile for sure. Like, I don't know if it's just because
Hmm.
if it's because I look at a lot of AI. I see it all the time. Not trying to say nothing here, but it is mostly women that be having these be having these AI headshots. I'm like, that ain't you. Uh, please, just put the real version of you up there. But again, I didn't know people were getting got by that. Like, apparently, these jobs are getting got by it. And then also, I do y'all think people are putting the filters on the the Snapchat filters on while they're in these interviews, or is it some other type of deep fake stuff going on? Because I know you see that too, right? On all the videos, they got they got the filter on every single video. It's like, when do you ever just put your real face on there? Like,
You know what? That's a great question. I think it's literally going back to what they said about the stolen identity, which is kind of crazy, right?
that's
Because if you
wild.
yeah, if you think about it, like they steal your, let's say your identity's been stolen, they have your credit card, so they get your picture ID there. You can kind of manipulate that, use that for your face. They probably make up some voice, or unless they're really sophisticated, they find your voice. It who is letting people know that your identity is used to like get into these companies? That's something else as well. But if thinking about all of that, that if you have that going, you could last until you get into the role, depending on how good that deepfake is. If it's
It's
like,
a
oh,
remote role.
if your mouth is acting weird or your eyes are glitching, then deepfake, then your technology stinks. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
here's the thing: it's an alarming thing, that they're saying that other governments are literally using it to like fund their fund their government through their company, U.S. company
That is wild.
salaries, and that's wild. That's crazy. Yeah, allegedly, right? That's
That put up.
crazy.
I think to Coach Rob, the way what he just said, it put me in the mind of that's taking it a whole new route of AI is taking jobs.
That's a good point. Oh, they get each other. AI is replacing. Oh man. Oh man.
but I mean, could I deep fake being a white man to get a role? Like, is that how they're doing it, or are they just sticking close around to?
I know, right? Will they be looking at people's identity? They sound like, not this one. Ain't gonna pass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Man,
that's what I'm getting at. Like, how are they doing this?
oh
This is
man, it's
crazy.
gonna be like high commodities for certain ethnicities and genders, and like, oh yeah, this we want we want Adam Smith here as
They definitely gonna get this job. They definitely gonna get this one.
man. The black market must be crazy right now. It's always been crazy, but this must be like next level stuff.
Oh, with AI? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Wave Nurse said customer success manager heads the future companies. Oh, heads the future company. Oh, didn't think about that. I mean, they're on the good. They're on the side of building relationships and maintaining relationships.
CSM.
So,
Yeah,
so who
yeah.
know, relationships go a far way if they're really good at their job. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Techo Drop says, "Not your voice." The comment about people not working in real life. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
when you was
yeah.
talking about you was guns blazing. Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, about people working in real life. Listen, that affected a lot of things too. If we think about what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Um, oh, I want to talk about what you just said. That's really dope. But I'm gonna finish my comment here, and then we'll go into that. But if we think about it, why did companies basically say, okay, enough is enough? It's because people were taking advantage of the roles that they had. Some people were not working, which is maybe not be their fault in the regards to over hiring. They probably didn't have anything to do, but other people were doing shortcuts and not doing things at all. And so people that are like, hey, I could work remotely, let me go at it. I've been doing it for whatever. Like, now we're bringing you back in the office, and now it's like, oh, now we got to deal with that because of a couple rotten apples. So, but this point, this thing you just said, I want to highlight that. Next crime is going to be AI trafficking. Yo,
That's some crazy mess right there. I don't even know
break,
how to that just broke my brain.
yeah, break. I'm about to say break that down, take Coach Ralph, because I'm thinking one thing. I want to make sure I'm on the same train of thought as you. AI trafficking. Are you trafficking the
trafficking
AI?
trafficking their information.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see you waving there. That's smart. Yeah, interns to be human in the loop. We definitely human in the loop because the agents, they can't run too reckless by themselves. That's a good point. That's a good point.
At this point,
AI trafficking. I feel like we need to do a segment on that. If you could break that down, because that might you bringing it up might be it might actually be happening. But what do you mean by AI trafficking? Let us know because it can mean so many different things. As he's writing that up, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has took the time to be a part of the show. This has been great, and now I'm really curious about AI trafficking. I'm trying to I might look it up and see what that is. But AI trafficking, let's definitely talk about that for
that's
sure.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, in the future. If you have an idea what that of you break that down, that'd be dope. But I'm gonna go to a segment we didn't do this last week. It's Brown Box Special to round up the show, and Brown Box Special, right? And so this one is credited from Reddit. And so this one, I'm going to try to do it quick as possible, but it's a doozy. He said, I had, and this just a disclaimer, by the way, for those who don't know what Brown Box Special is, it's a story that is for anybody who's been fired, let go, or quit, where we share it for therapeutic reasons, to laugh at our pain, because we've all been through it, and we want to humanize them and make sure we feel human in the process as well. So this Redditor said, I had a heart attack. I was on a medical leave for 30 days. Upon coming back, my boss sits me down and tells me that he's happy I'm back and to ease back into things and not to work too hard. I take his advice. I'm still getting my work done, but I'm also taking it easy, not pushing myself. About 2 weeks into being at work, he brings me into a meeting room and tells me my performance is lacking and perhaps the job is too stressful for me and that he's putting me on a performance improvement plan, aka PIP, y'all, for 30 days. Now, keep in mind, he gives me two huge projects. Project number one, document and clean up all of the conference rooms. This includes pictures and documentation on all the equipment, network diagrams and Visio, CAD space diagrams, and how to on using the touchscreens and recabling the rooms that at the time someone can walk in, pop their laptop on a desk, connect to the AV stuff, and have a network cable available to them, repairing anything broken, etc. There were about 20 boardrooms with different equipment. Each document run book was easily 20 pages long. So he was just using that to get you out, brother. I finished this, but had to work on weekends, which meant giving up time with my kids. And by the way, this is a single dad at the time, and he only saw them on the weekends. So keep that in mind. That's project number one. Project number two, develop an asset tracking program for BlackBerry handhelds. So you can tell what the time of when this was. And loaner laptops. He wouldn't give me a specific requirements, even though I asked. He did, however, give me a 5K budget max. I did a ton of research and found out some software that would do the work, but it was 10K. He ups the budget and I get an evaluation, do all the testing, and finally sit down with him on the 29th day of the 30-day PIP. And present him with 1 hour long PowerPoint presentation explaining that we didn't have to buy any additional software because through my research, I found that another department already had a more robust application. And all we needed to do was to work with them to develop it for our needs. Also, as a second suggestion, I went through the whole application like I did, whole application that I did, and find that all the way through showing him how it does report everything he asked for. It's right there. As I showed him a screenshot of the report, the final page of the presentation, he says, "Can we format the report so that the info X is before info Y?" I tell him we can. He says, "I want to see it." Trouble is, my evaluation software had run out of several days before I was done working on the presentation, etc. He tells me he needs to think about it and that he's heading home to deal with some plumbing issues. At this point, I am at my wits' end. I have never been put on performance review ever. I've always had an exceptional work record, and even my boss before him reviewed me as a satisfactory and worker, and he was a total bastard that we got fired. Long story. Anyway, I go to his boss, I tell him what's going on and that I'm really stressed out about the whole situation. They get together, bring me into the conference room, and yep, you guessed it. They fired me. That was a terrible story. And it's sad because I've seen a coworker who was sick or had a surgery, was coming back from that, and then they got something like this happen to them. I don't know if you've
I
seen that or
remember that.
experienced that, but yeah.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and it's terrible. It's like, listen, you want, on one hand, you want to say like, hey, we're looking out for you. We're a family. On the other hand, you're like, how can I get this person out as quick as possible?
Listen, man, they don't ever care about you as that much. Okay. At the end of the day, it is a business.
Mm,
Unfortunately, I'm not even saying that like,
yeah,
unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's a business. Now, they just technically found a way that they could get him out of the door. It's halfway his fault. There's no way, you know, as an individual, you got to know the scope of what you're doing. I would have had, hey, what's the time frame? Like that first project, like what's the normal time frame for all that stuff anyway? I need that plus more because I'm injured or I'm coming off an injury. I need a little bit more than whatever the average is on that. You're not about to, hey, 2 weeks and I just agree. No, I need, is this okay? Let me think on this. Let me make sure. And we can come to a mutual agreement on something that I actually can do. Not about to be, yeah, that they try to get him up out of there. And he
yeah,
fell straight into the trap because he was, he was desperate for the role. And that's why it's possible that you want to build outside of the job, use that job money as your first investor into the outside job or business,
mm,
whatever, because, that way he could have just probably said, you know what? They gave him these projects. Hey, I'll do it in a month. You're not willing for a month? I'm out of here.
yeah,
Sayonara.
yeah. And then Teco Drop said something interesting. He said, the family stabs you in the back, company stab you in the front.
Mm,
Man,
I hear no lies.
slice and dice for real. Oh, and we got update on AI trafficking. He said, isn't a thing yet, but the government will get it eventually. I guess any crime committed with AI that reaches a certain threshold of money and crossing state and international lines. No diddy. That is the AI trafficking possibilities in the future, and I think that's probably a real thing. Now, international lines, that's gonna be a big one. How because some things happen internationally allegedly that we know of but are not being handled or nothing's being done with it as we think. It's like a anyway, that's another conversation, but definitely hear what you're saying. Definitely hear what you're saying, y'all. Listen, man, this has been a great show. Thank you so much for rocking with us so far. We have Wave Nerd Palantir with CIA starting AI for thought criminals. Ooh, that
Mm.
is interesting and might be something we have to talk about next week. So let's definitely put a pin on that. I'm gonna look that up as well. But yeah, listen, y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with us on this episode. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. And like we said before, we're 3 away from hitting that 800 mark. Goal is 1,000 plus this year. We could be very quick to get there, but we need you to go ahead and subscribe. If you like the show, if you watch the show, subscribing is free. $3.99. So go ahead and do that to show your support and help us to get to the other side of that number.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. So we want to thank you again for rocking with us. Like, comment, subscribe if you have not. And until next time, this is Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world, baby. We'll see y'all next time.
yes, peace and elbow grease.